Hey y'all, welcome to the very first episode of Unfolding Her podcast. I am your co host, Ariana, but you can call me Ari for short. This space here is for the real talk, healing, relationships, growth, and all the things we as women go through but don't always say out loud. Now, usually, you'll be hearing me alongside my co host, Sydney, but today you're just rocking with me. We wanted to start off by letting you get to know us, but since Sydney is tied up, I figured why not go ahead and unfold myself first. This is part one, and my story and my why. And for part two, you'll hear from her. So let me tell you why we even started this podcast. We both realized that too often women are told to hold back, to keep quiet, to not share what's really going on behind the scenes. And I think that's a little absurd. And I don't know about y'all, but I've lived through too much to keep shrinking myself. This isn't a space for sugarcoating. This is where we laugh, we cry, we heal, unpack, and just simply unfold her together. You'll notice we launched with a black logo. That was intentional. For me, black represents the starting point, the shadows, the pain, the unknown. Before we step into the light, we have to acknowledge what we've survived. Unfolding isn't always pretty, but it's always worth it. So who is Ari, you may ask? Well, I am a mother to twin boys, two amazing boys that just bring so much joy into my life. I am a student currently studying psychology so I can prayerfully become a marriage and family therapist. I think it's just so important to have that space to give people an opportunity to be heard. So this is my starting point. Also, I am a creator and a visionary. I do have my own organization that I actually co-founded with my sister called Voices of Her. So this definitely is a great platform for me to have because things that I may not be able to say on that platform, I can definitely say on this one. I am also someone who has survived things that people don't like to talk about out loud: financial abuse, verbal abuse, and even physical at times. And I do apologize if my voice cracks at any time, because in this segment of Unfolding Her, we will probably cry often. Yes, we have healed, but we know the effect that it has had on us. So please bear with us if you ever hear us crying for a certain amount of time. Trust, we will do our best to cut out too much crying. But we definitely would like for you to see us in our truest form. But while those seasons were hard in our life, and a lot of women I know I didn't break, and the women around me didn't break either. We grew. This pushed me to create spaces like this. Spaces where women can say, sis, me too, without shame. Because so often we find ourselves having to suppress our emotions. And as women, Black women at that, women of color, Black and brown women, we are forced into a narrative that is unfair. And I know what it feels like to hide those parts of myself, to just keep going, to just keep a smile on my face. And I'll crumble in private because I can't do it in public. And I also know the power of finding your voice again. That's why Unfolding Her matters to me, because every woman deserves to open up the parts of herself that were silenced. Whew, this is so tough for me because this will probably be the first time publicly that I've acknowledged this much vulnerability. So y'all are definitely in for a treat. So within this first season, we're starting at the surface, lighthearted girl chats, introductions, just letting you get to know us. But trust me, as we grow, we're going to dig deep. We are going to talk about resilience, love, healing, even sisterhood, and all those conversations that women whisper about but don't always bring to the table. this is the table that you can speak loudly at, okay? That we're probably going to be the loudest table. We might be obnoxious to some, but at least people are finally going to be heard. We'll have guests, of course, women who inspire us, even people I'm really, really good friends with that I truly do believe can make an impact on a lot of women's lives because of their resilience and how they persevered through pain. But most importantly, we'll have truth, because unfolding her is about rediscovering the women you always were. The version of you that was never meant to beg, never meant to shrink, and never meant to settle. Ladies, we have to stop settling. It stops now. If you are someone that comes on to our podcast or just simply as a listener, trust me, we will gather your life together. We are no longer going to be holding back. We are no longer going to be suppressing. We are no longer going to put things to the side, push things under the rug, and conceal them with smiles and makeup and glamour and glitz, and no more. Unfolding her is literally going to change the way you process everything. Because the women that I've spoke to and the women that are going to be coming onto this podcast changed my perspective on so many things. The woman that I once was is not the woman that I am now because of the women that I had in my life that influenced me in good ways. Keyword, good. So thank you for tuning into this first episode of Unfolding Her podcast. This is just part one. Next time, you'll meet my co-host Sydney as she unfolds her story and tells her why. Together, we're going to build this community of women who are just ready to heal, grow, and flourish. Now is the time. And this is why it's so important to have spaces like this, because this can be super helpful for women. And just knowing the conversations I've had with her, and like I said, with other women, I told her these are conversations that we shouldn't just have by ourselves. We need to have these conversations out loud, because a lot of women that say, oh, I'm alone, or I don't understand, or I don't get it, or all these things under the sun, I promise you, you're not alone. We get it and we will help you, even if it's just by simply listening to you. So please don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Unfolding Her Podcast. Subscribe wherever you're listening, and most of all, carry this with you. Unfolding Her isn't about becoming someone new. It's about remembering the women you always were. So I'll leave y'all with that. I will see y'all in the next episode of Unfolding Her. Bye, y'all.